Hey everyone, this is JT with BlackBerryWest.com. We're going to give you guys a first look today at the new VIKI personal assistant app, which has made its way onto BlackBerry 10 and is now available in BlackBerry World for all three BlackBerry 10 devices. When you open the app, you're greeted with this pretty cool little question: what can I help you with? The little button right down here is to talk into the app and have it process your information. We'll take a look at that in a second. We're going to go over the other two menus. Over on the left hand side, if you swipe right, you'll be able to see 8 different selections which you can choose from between movies, for example, which we'll use your GPS location to find the nearest theaters and times, and we'll give you a pretty good overview of what's playing nearby. Weather also does the same thing. Works pretty well. I'm not a huge fan
Current temperature 31.
I'm not a huge fan of the fact that it talks right then and there, especially since I'm not using voice command. It can surprise you a little bit. Even if your phone is on silent like mine is right now, it'll still make noise. Right now there's no way to change between Celsius and Fahrenheit. Hopefully that changes in a future update, but for now you're stuck with Celsius, so you'll have to do a little bit of calculations if you are in the US. With restaurants, I find there's a bit of a bug here finding which ones are actually restaurants and which ones are not. Like Collage Hair and Color is obviously not a restaurant nearby, but most of them are actually restaurants or delis and stuff like that, so I can't be too harsh on that in that sense. Moving on to the other screens over on the right hand side. It's a little sticky for me. I don't know why it's not. There you go. The help screen gives you a couple of different suggestions which you can use to control VIKI, like for example opening apps, getting different answers. For the opening apps part, this specifically only works with native apps. So for example, if you wanted to ask it to open Black, it won't necessarily do it. It just won't work. So let's try some of these suggestions out. Like for example, how far away is the moon?
Okie dokie.
Moon distance from the Earth. Let's see. So it got the answer correct. It took a little bit longer than I would have hoped. It's not necessarily the fastest. I'm on Wi-Fi right now, and again the UI is a little bit funky. I wish there wasn't so much unused space around. All this white space could be used better, I think, in terms of a UI refresh. So hopefully that that gets fixed in a future update in terms of just different little tweaks. Obviously it looks better on the Z10 than it does on the Q10 or the Q5 just because of the larger screen. So that's a little bit of a pet peeve that I have with it. Let's try something else. Tell me a joke. When in life you wake up and you don't see anyone, then come to me. I will be there to take you to an eye specialist. VIKI is not the funniest person, but I can appreciate the humor. And of course, if you want just a little bit of a joke, VIKI can do that for you as well. Let's see what else we can have it search for us. Let's try Googling something. Google BlackBerry. That's pretty cool. Now, sometimes if you go back to the app, you'll notice that it actually opened up the Google search page within the app, but for some reason it also opened it up in the browser as well. So I'm really hoping that that gets fixed, because it would be really cool to just have it in the browser and not have to worry about, in the app and not have to worry about using the browser as well. Obviously this is the first version of VIKI, so a lot of improvements will most likely be made over time. But for now, it does pale in comparison to Siri and Google Now, which are obviously the big personal assistant type of apps that everybody wants to have, everybody wants to compare themselves to. So for now, it does work. It does help. It's not the greatest thing, especially with directions. Does weather as well. I would like to see, one of the features that I would like to see added are sports and sports scores and schedules. Right now, if you do anything resembling sports, it just doesn't. It doesn't even really register it. So, for example, let's see. Scores New York Mets. Probably not gonna understand that at all. Yeah, I called it New York Map.
How did you hear about VIKI?
Completely not what I asked. So, again, VIKI is still a work in progress. It has potential. So far, I don't think I would use it over, I don't know, any of the other operating systems. A quick Google search might prove to be useful, especially if your hands are occupied and you can't really do anything in terms of typing. And that's pretty much it. VIKI's available right now for $3.99 in BlackBerry World, and is available again for the BlackBerry Z10, the Q10, and the Q5. Stay tuned for more reviews on BlackBerryWest.com.